guys, as you can see, I'm a little bit sweaty. I was just on my hands and knees here in the laundry area, and as you can see, we've got a little bit of a mess on our hands. So I'll show you in this video what I just found, how I found it, what the potential options are for resolution, and then we'll take a look at how we're gonna solve this really fun plumbing issue. So stay tuned. All right, so I'm down here under the folding table, and what I had discovered 2 days ago when I was doing the laundry was some pooling water under here, and it was underneath the dryer, which is even weirder because there's no water that happens in the dryer cycle. So that led me to believe that it's some type of leak coming in here. So I cleaned up the pooled water and then took out my drywall knife and just started hacking into the wall here. So I'll show you what the issue is, and then we'll have to explore some options for fixing it, because leaking water in your walls, never a good sign. So this is the baseboard that I just pulled off, and if you flip it over, yep, water damage all throughout. So as you can see, this leak has been happening for a little bit now. I don't think it's too old because I just discovered this within the last few days. So, but there's some definite water damage, and that is never a good sign. So I noticed when the washer was emptying out for the end of its cycle, that there was a leak, and they were starting to pool some water over here underneath the bottom of the baseboard. And again, water coming in from under your baseboard is never a good sign. So this is the pipe. You know, every house has one of these boxes with the hot and cold hookup, and then the discharge tube, and then it's going through here. And then take a look at this. It's literally not even connected, which is just absolutely insane. So it was just leaking straight here. And then if you look at this pipe, it's just insanely corroded. And down here you can feel the wetness. It's actually kind of damp in here. And then there's some black mold right here as well. Get the light on it. So again, all terrible signs. This is kind of rotted as well. So again, I don't really know how long this has been going on, but I'm not necessarily equipped to solve this myself. I think I'm gonna have to get in a professional plumber, but I might have to make that call and then figure out what I need to do. I mean, it would be tough. I'd have to slice this with a Sawzall, and I don't even know if it's more corroded up there. I think, given the moisture down here, this corroded this pipe. So it's just kind of a terrible sign, but that's what you get with a house from the 1960s. You're just gonna find stuff that is not perfect and has aged. All right, guys, so I went to the gym earlier today, and I was thinking more about this, and I think that I can actually do this project myself. I'm gonna cross my fingers and see if it's actually possible. And I went to Home Depot, picked up some supplies. I watched some YouTube videos as well, picked up some tricks and tips surrounding this project. So let me walk you through what I am about to attempt in repairing this pretty complicated plumbing situation, because it involves cast iron as well as ABS pipe, and it just connecting plastic to metal is challenging, and you got to take a lot of different steps to cut it out and then piece everything back together and then make sure that it is watertight. So let's take a look at what I'm about to take on. All right, let's take a look at the setup down here. So I'm gonna cut it right about there, throw a 90 on it, and then throw another 90 leading into this area here where I'm gonna cut. And I need to cut out this section from right there all the way up to there. It's about 30 inches I measured. So we have almost 3 feet. And then I have all this ABS pipe, all-purpose cement. And then these things are pretty cool. This is how you join either PVC or ABS piping to cast iron. And I got a couple different versions. I'm not quite sure which one's gonna fit. I hope one of these fits, but if they don't, I'll have to find a different solution. But that's a 2-inch cast iron pipe. This is a 1.5 inch. This is something like a 1.5 inch metal pipe as well. Of course, it's all ridiculously corroded and stuck together, so you can't just unscrew it, and typically you can't do that with PVC or ABS anyway because it's cemented in place. So you kind of just have to cut it and then redo it. So that's what I got to get started working on. And now it's time to bust out the Sawzall. I added this blade, again, cast iron. And I saw this trick on YouTube. I took a hacksaw and then I made some notches right there. And then right down here where I'm gonna cut. So that the blade can grip right away and doesn't slip all over the place as it's starting to reciprocate. And it's kind of a tight area because I'm butted up against this outdoor wall as well as a 2x4 right here. So hopefully I can cut through it because it's kind of tight quarters. But I need to remove this whole piece, and I'll show you on the backside. This thing is just so ridiculously corroded. I can fit my fingers on the inside. So it's like sometimes I'll get roaches, you know, coming across the floor, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I think I know where they're coming from now because I can literally get my fingers in here. It's just a wide open pipe because it's just been destroyed by water. So this was another trick that I saw online, putting a little bit of oil. They're saying that it should help preserve the life of the blade and make the cutting process a little bit easier since you're lubricating the area and it's just not metal on metal. So we'll see if that helps. I was able to make a little bit of progress. I just cut for like 20 seconds there. So I wanted to grab some oil and see if that helps out. But it's probably gonna take me 2 or 3 minutes to cut through this thing straight. It's just such thick, dense cast iron. It's probably original to the house, built in 1962. So you know, this piece into this piece into this piece. So it's just this giant stack of cast iron. So got some cutting to do. We did it, baby. We did it. I cut it off. You can see the black there. It has been a lot of moisture in that area, and it's been leaking for a while. So I'm glad that I was able to finally find this. And the even better news is that I have a 20-pound weapon for the zombie apocalypse now. So I just need to wrap it. It does not smell great. I just need to wrap it in barbed wire, and we'll be ready to take on some zombies though. So on a more serious note, gotta clean this area up, and then I can get to fixing some pipes. So wish me luck. I'm gonna keep at it. Here's the other thing I want to show you guys. Take the light right here. Look at that. This entire pipe was just absolutely blown open. I'll get a little bit closer to the light now. Look at that, just disgusting, you know. And then obviously just shooting out moisture, damaging and rotting the wood over time. So this has been an issue for a long time. This whatever they did here, whoever plumbed this, did such a terrible job. I don't know if they installed the dryer and the washing machine at a later date, you know, after the house was made or something, and they jerry-rigged this, but it was not done correctly. And all that moisture just completely expanded this pipe. So really kind of crazy to see all these cracks in here. So definitely time for an upgrade. I decided to cut off a little bit more here so that I could get this pipe all the way across here and actually at a slight downward slope, and then hook it in to this tree joint right here. So hopefully that'll all come together, and I need to put a piece of pipe right here to attach it, and then I can glue this together, and then another piece right here. So I just need 1, 2, 3 right here. So just needed to do some cutting and some measuring. glue it all together. I'm going to dry fit it first so that we get a really tight and good fit with all the measurements at the right spots. Try not to waste any material here, but it's coming together. So I'm going to be using this OD all-purpose cement, good for PVC and ABS and CPVC. So I'm just going to do one piece at a time as I'm fitting this together, do my work slowly because this stuff sets super quick and you definitely cannot undo it without cutting it into pieces. So I'm going to get started here. So on this last piece, check this out. I'm gonna put this in here, I'm gonna cement it in, and then I'm putting this coupler on first, so I can basically just push it into place and then slide that coupler up and then cinch it down with these steel bands. So it's an important order how you do things in plumbing, and you gotta do it carefully and methodically. And it's super important to plan everything out first so that you're not stuck with a mistake. So this is the last piece, and again, this is just a vent. It goes up through the roof. As soon as this is the outside wall, you can see it right through the roof when you walk outside. So there's no water coming down through here. So either way, we really want to make sure that this is tight. This is going to have water coming through it, so I'm going to come back with a drill, really make sure that this is super tight. And then, of course, I'm going to have to test everything and do a load with the washing machine before I patch any drywall. We got to make sure that this thing is waterproof. All right, so I just finished. It maybe took me 2 hours in total, you know, to take apart the drywall and everything, and then go to Home Depot, get the parts, put it all together. Maybe 5 minutes of watching YouTube videos as well to reassure myself that I could do it and I didn't have to call a plumber, because I know I said that at the beginning of the video, and it would have been, I'm guessing, because I've had something similar like this done before, I'm guessing at the low end $800 up to $1,500 maybe to do something like this. It's mostly in labor. You know, you're paying for expertise. Like, these are plastic parts. It doesn't, you know, take too much, but I'm done. And I'm gonna delay saying I'm really excited about it because I don't know if it works yet, but it's, you know, it's just plumbing. It's just supposed to carry water. So it should be working perfectly fine. So let's take a look at my handiwork and go from there. All right, so here we go. And again, we had the cast iron piece all the way up through here, and these thick rubber pieces are meant to join plastic to plastic or metal to plastic. So it should work out perfectly. And then again, close up on this one, here's that old cast iron piece. And then this is actually a transition piece that is specifically designed for cast iron. And it goes from 1.5 to 2 inches. And I left just a little bit of the cast iron purposefully, because if you slice it flush, you're gonna be in trouble because there's nothing to grab onto. So you gotta leave just a 1/2 inch for that stuff to grab onto. But I believe I left, because you can see the cut marks behind the wall, I left about 2 inches there. So plenty to grab onto. And then if you notice, this is at a slight downward angle. That was part of the problem last time because it was getting caught. It wasn't sloping downward, and it was just designed poorly, as we saw. So now coming from the washing machine here straight down and then into the sewer line. So everything looks really clean, and now we just need to test the washing machine, do a load of laundry, and then I'll have to fix everything. And it was actually missing some insulation here. So I'll go get some insulation, put that insulation back in the wall, and hopefully we'll be good to go. Here's an easier method to test it. I decided I didn't want to wait to run the washing machine and just waste electricity. So I'm just gonna take this, put it in here. We'll see what happens. I'm not seeing any leaks. You can hear the water flow. So that's good news. All right, guys, so I am calling it a day. We have finished the plumbing repair, super happy about that. And in part 2 of this video, I'm gonna do some drywall repair, because as you can see, we have quite a nice little chunk of wall that I need to fix up. So it's a second trip to Home Depot to get supplies to do some drywall repair, some panels, some putty, some screws, all that good stuff. So thank you again for watching. Until the next DIY video, I'll see you later.